How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to the FireStorm podcast. We are doing another album review because that is mostly what we do nowadays. We do have some other things in the pipeline. We do have some other ideas of things that might happen, but we are back with an album review, and today we are doing an artist we have yet to do. We've gotten to the point with our album reviews where we're like, been doing them for so long that we are up to like the second newest release for certain artists, and like it's been pretty cool. I've enjoyed like being able to reflect on the shit we talked about years ago and the shit we're talking about now. But this is a band that kind of caught me off guard and just appeared one day. I forgot how I actually found them, but I did, and then I realized, oh, they're actually really big. And then I got you onto them as well. Yes, it was your recommendation that got me into them. Yes, so we're here to talk about Spiritbox and their new album Tsunami Sea. This is going to be interesting. Mm-hmm. Yes. I think it was just either it might have been a YouTube short, or it might have been like one of like Spotify's recommendations thing. Like I'm not exactly sure, because I got recommended their EP Rotoscope, which had like the songs the single Rotoscope, sorry, that had Rotoscope, Sew Me Up, and Hysteria. And I remember just thinking, oh, Rotoscope, what a fucking banger. Like, it was either just in like a random playlist I played at work, or it was just recommended to me, and I thought, wow, banger. And then Jaded and The Void came out, and I'm like, holy fuck, these guys are awesome. Yeah. So then they're really good. I was just kind of hooked since then. And I didn't realize how big they are. Like, a very, very popular, like, especially with like alt and like the alt communities. I've seen memes about like different alt fandoms and like what their favorite bands are, and I forgot Spiritbox was amongst them, and I forgot what for, but doesn't really matter. But they're popular. That's all I know. I've gone ahead and listened to
actually, it was actually when I left Philadelphia last time I was there. I think I went up recently to see a State Champs concert with Mecca and his partner. And they were like literally on my way out. Like, I was about to literally leave their apartment to drive home to Virginia, and they were like, "Oh, what's the date we're going to see Spiritbox?" And I'm like, "You guys are going to see Spiritbox?" I'm like, "Holy shit,
that's fucking awesome!"
Yeah, so they're going to see Spiritbox in Philadelphia at some point pretty soon. I think.
Sweet.
So I'm like, "You guys are going to see Spiritbox without me? Unbelievable."
Those fuckers. Can't believe this.
So, I don't know if they're coming to Virginia, and if they are, it's probably already sold out. So
yeah, no, I can imagine. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, yes, this is going to be a little bit new for us, because especially because I don't think either of us have heard any of the singles in Tsunami Sea. I have done my best to avoid them.
It was, you put me onto Jaded and The Void. And both are fucking bangers. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yes. And I like the other tracks in that EP. I forget the Fear of Fear. Yeah. Yeah, that one. That EP. The other tracks were like, they're fine. But the Jaded and The Void are fucking bangers.
I know.
And I listened to their most recent album. I think it was Eternal Blue.
Yes,
is the name
2021
of their
Eternal
most
Blue.
recent album.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is also a fucking great album. So I've listened to that as well. And Spiritbox are fantastic. I love what they have going on. Mm-hmm. So I'm really curious to hear their new album.
Did you mention that, I think we talked about it briefly during a different video, your favorite song of their catalog so far is like Secret Garden or something? What would you say is your favorite?
I have so I have a few favorites. I think my top 3 favorites of theirs now would be Secret Garden is up there, but also The Void is up there, and The Summit. Mm-hmm. Those 3 are my 3 favorites, I think.
Okay, that makes that's a very good list. I don't know why, because I've listened to the whole fucking catalog. I don't know why, but the single Blessed Be for some reason just stands out to me and is my favorite amongst everything. I can't explain why, but Blessed Be slaps. I do think Secret Garden and like Jaded and The Void all awesome. I also think Holy Roller, like that, the original plus the feature as well, also cool. And the rock version of Cobra they did for Megan Thee Stallion unironically slaps as well. Like, nice. And I'm not a Megan Thee Stallion fan by any regards, but the rock remix, sick. So, big fan of a lot of this shit. I've got most of the songs just in my playlist of just random shit that I enjoy whenever it comes on. I have fun with it. So, Tsunami Sea is going to be interesting. I don't know why they did this. I don't know if they're trying to go more, like, consistent with something. I don't know what the deal is, but during the period of time when they were just dropping singles up to the album, they turned all of their, like, main songs cover art black and white. And I don't know why. Like, it started with Eternal Blue. The album art was blue before, but now it's black and white. Right. They did the same with Rotoscope and the Fear of Fear EP, because there's the single for Cellar Door below it, which is purple, but the EP itself is black and white. So I don't know what the deal is. Then I saw that the album art for Tsunami Sea is black and white. It's two heads. So I don't know why they did it, but I noticed that during this period. So whatever that means, cool. Strange, but subliminal regardless. So yes, with this album review, same as always. If you don't know how album reviews work, we can't play the music during the podcast. It's because we get copyrighted. So go on to your favorite streaming platform or however you listen to music. We will count down and hit the play button on go, and you can listen along with us, hear our live reactions and our thoughts afterwards as well. Anything else to add, Gus?
No, I think I'm ready to get into this. I'm really curious. I really like. I'm really curious if they took this in like a new direction or if it's more of the same. So, yeah. Either way, I'm all for it. So, I'm excited.
Fuck yeah! Let's get into this.
All right. So, track number 1 is called Fata Morgana, or however you want to say it. I'm not exactly sure how you say that. I'm assuming it's Fata Morgana.
Yeah, sure.
But it means something in another language. And that's all I can tell you. And we're gonna play it in 3, 2, 1, go. I'm gonna turn my volume up a bit.
Oh, Jesus.
Damn.
That's heavy. Extended intro.
Yeah, that is disgusting.
I know.
Holy shit.
I've heard you and other musicians describe sounds like this as disgusting, and I never really got it, but like I'm starting to get why.
Oh yeah. She's so good at screaming. She's unreal,
amazing
man.
At screaming. Courtney LaPlante. Amazing.
Damn. Hey, a little more. I almost can't quite distinguish it.
I know. Cool echo. This is one of those tracks where you really have to focus to get the lyrics.
Yeah. Whoa.
What a shift.
They do this a lot, though.
Mm-hmm. That's going to explode in just a sec. Oh, no. Okay. It's weird that I understood the screaming clearer than the rest of the lyrics.
Yeah, right?
Oh, that sounded like a wave. That was cool.
A tsunami, if you will. That's a lot of reverb on those vocals.
That's so much. I know. What the fuck is she saying?
Yeah, right.
Like, I love the echo effect at the end of it, but just during it, I couldn't understand a thing.
Me either.
Do.
That's nasty. Holy fuck.
Fucking hell. And some noises to fade out to. Oh, God. Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it was a transition. Oh.
Oh.
I was like, what
okay, I looked it up because I was curious. Fata Morgana refers to a complex type of mirage where distant objects appear distorted, magnified, or even seem to float above the horizon, often resembling castles or other elaborate structures. That's what that means.
Huh. Well, there you go. I guess that, like, the mirage of, like, the very clear but still strenuously loud screaming compared to the reverbed to fuck rest of the lyrics. Like, I get the vibe. Okay. No,
that was a really cool vibe, for sure.
That was a cool vibe. I just wish I knew what the fuck she was saying.
Yes.
I really enjoyed it, though, like that. Because Spiritbox are good at doing, like, good heavy metal, but then they can go fucking, like, next level with it. And that immediately was a next level fucking, like, disgusting fucking sound. And I'm like, I don't know if that's what I'm going to be actively listening to, but it was really enjoyable regardless.
It was a good track. See, like, you know, we just before we started recording, we mentioned the most recent album review we did before this, which was the Caleb Hiles one, which we criticized pretty heavily for not having a lot of originality. Whereas I feel like immediately here, I'm like, I understand what Spiritbox is. You know, like if I were coming in as a new, like someone who had never heard Spiritbox before, I'm like, oh my god, I understand. Like this is like Spiritbox have got these like super sort of distant. It is like a mirage almost. Like a lot of their songs have like a distant sort of very reverby feel to them. It's cool, and like it mixes well with like the heavy metal guitars that are going on and the instrumentation. It's just really cool. So like even though I could not understand Jack Diddley squat, I'm like, that was cool to listen to.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
there for the vibe.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
It makes me wonder how they incorporate so much, because like in so many of their songs you can hear different instruments like happening, but somehow always blending together extremely well. And like I'm always baffled at how much they can blend and make work and just sound amazing. Like, and that has to be done with the mixing as well. Like the mixing, even though like that was a disgusting sound, like it's so clean to the fact where everything is so distinct. You can actually tell what's happening. It's not just like, apart from the ending bit there where it was a transition, it's not just noise. And I think this is only their second album, because Eternal Blue was an album and the rest of their catalog is just singles. And I reckon they've had enough time to properly distinguish their own sound. But I reckon, because the first EP they did, like the Mara Effect, I think it was called. No, it was just called Spiritbox back in like 2017. And it had the Mara Effect part 1, 2, and 3. It was trying to tell a story, but nothing. But they were still kind of in the phase of like figuring out what the fuck this style is. I can't speak English. What their style is. So like nothing in the original EP for Spiritbox truly stands out to me. But then when they dropped some of the singles, and like Blessed Be was the first one that stood out to me, and that's why I love it so much. Then they really started to get their flow. And this is just a continuation of that. And they're like, we're going to fucking kick off this album with something you're not going to forget, because it's going to fucking kill your eardrums.
Yeah. I'm all about it. That was cool.
Now, this song is... I'm really intrigued by the name Black Rainbow.
Right. Yeah, track number 2 is called Black Rainbow.
That's like
which kind of defeats the purpose of it being a rainbow.
I know. It's like, that's the most unironically darkest thing I've ever heard of. A black rainbow. Holy shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Kind of defeats the purpose of it being a spectrum of light. But hey, we're gonna play it in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh boy.
Oh, here we go.
We're fucked. Oh, it's kind of...
Oh, nice.
Kind of smoothly transition there.
So we're getting Holy Roller vibes. Oh.
Oh. Oh. Oh. This is like a poppy track or something.
Yeah. Whatever was just the Elimination Chamber main theme.
That's a banger.
It was.
Whoa.
What the fuck?
Man, we're already a minute and 45 into this? Holy shit.
The concept of time has gone out the window.
Oh.
Whoa, that was cool.
Oh. 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 Ugh. Oh. Whew. Oh. Oh. God damn.
Love those fucking hits.
Oh shit!
Jesus fucking Christ!
Damn!
Damn!
That was fucking crazy.
Gee. I just fucking like. I feel like imagine listening to that when you're spinning really quickly because of those constant fucking like. No, just fucking getting banged and you fucking spinning. Fucking hell. Holy shit. That was different because of the more robotic voice, and we made a. I don't want to keep harkening back to this. We made a comparison to Caleb Powell's just before. Like, for me, comparing it to that, Melancholic Heart, where he tried to do a bit more of a robotic voice and had that filter on there to make it sound like that. I felt like that was kind of shit and just didn't serve the purpose it was going for. In that sense, like, the robotic voice actually worked because there was still a sense of flow to the lyrics. Like, it actually still flowed with the song really well. I really enjoyed that. Like,
yeah, that was good.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. Like, a lot of the it's just somehow they make like Spiritbox, like, even like I mentioned some of the other tracks from the Fear of Fear. I didn't think any of the other, like, I think the Jaded and the Void were both fucking next level shit, but like the other tracks from there, which were a lot more heavy on screams, were not bad at all. And I think this Black Rainbow falls into that category where they like have, it's predominantly screaming, but like it just has this vibe about it where it's like the screaming is so good, the music just matches it perfectly, like it just works on exactly what they're trying to go for, I think. So I'm usually not a huge fan of songs where it's like predominantly screaming, but Spiritbox, man, they just made it work. And they just have their own unique vibe about it, where it's like I can't think of another band that, I mean, I'm not huge into this particular scene or anything, where like metalcore or whatever you want to call it, but like I can't think of another band that like has this sort of distinctness about their music that like Spiritbox does. And they just nail it, I think.
They do.
So good
like
shit.
You were saying like it was almost going for like poppy sort of vibe. Like I
definitely there were definitely moments in that first half where I'm like, that sounds like a poppy song.
Yeah, like I got that, but in the end I still got Spiritbox out of it. I think more and more I'm getting into metalcore just because it's such a fucking cool blend of the new shit everyone loves, but still keeping metal relevant. So it's like, fuck yeah, I'm loving this. This is awesome.
Nice. All right. Then moving on, we'll move to track number 3, very clearly a single, called Perfect Soul. So, again, we haven't listened to any of the singles before this, so this is going to be our first exposure to them. Mm-hmm. So, we're going to play track number 3 in 3, 2, 1, go.
Nice.
Oof, that's... Oh.
Love her voice.
Oh. Bro, I'm gonna nut over here.
Nice. Ooh.
I like it.
Damn, they're really letting the backing vocalist have some time in the sun with that.
I was gonna say that the double layered vocal, like it almost feels like double layered leads. It's really nice.
That was cool.
It's not quite double layered leads, but what is clearly meant to be a harmony, but it almost stands out more than the actual leads.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the backing vocal, I think it was Josh is his name. Like he is actually not backing. It sounds like you can hear them both distinctly, but they're just not harmonizing. But it's still really good. Oh, did it? Oh.
Man, the vocalist singing voice just works, man. It's like soft and gentle, but it fucking works over this instrumental.
It really does. Fucking Courtney, your voice is beautiful.
Man, that was fucking cool.
That was so interesting because you said like they weren't exactly harmonizing, and like I could tell like yeah they weren't, but that almost helped it.
They were harmonizing is like, you know, it's like they intentionally mixed it so that the lead vocals and then the harmony are taking up different spots in the mix, which is very intentional. So like you can easily attune your ears to one or the other. So that's intentional, but like they mixed one very clear, like they mixed the lead vocalist, her voice as very clearly was meant to be the lead vocals, but then the harmony vocals, which were sort of higher pitched, but taking up a little bit of a different place in the mix, were also standing on their own, but harmonize. They were harmony. It was a harmony with the lead vocals, like, you know, it was different notes, but aligning sort of a similar pattern to the lead vocals. But it was take up a different spot in the mix, so it was like you could very much attune your ears to either one or the other. So it was like it was really interesting the way they did it. I like that about it. It's not really a thing I don't think they've, at least from what I've heard, I don't think they've tried something quite like that yet, which is cool. But it's just, oh man, like they just have it figured out. Like, and that was in Perfect Soul, like that felt even a little bit different compared to a lot of the more hard, like melodically focused tracks, like a lot like where the vocals are more melodic instead of screaming. It felt different from the previous melodically focused tracks too. Like it felt like it very much had its own identity compared to the others. So like it kind of feels like it would stand on its own in this album, in the context of this album as well. So like that, it was just really cool. It doesn't sound like it came off of the Fear EP. It doesn't sound like it came off of Eternal Blue. It sounds like its own thing, which is great. Like, I love that. It was really cool. Had its own sound. Just a really cool track, I think.
Very cool. Definitely a good choice for a single. That definitely stood out in its own way, and I really liked it. They got a style. They know how to work it. They know how to tune it to the left or the right a little bit to give you a bit of a different sound whenever they want to change it up a bit. But it's still Spiritbox. That's the thing. Like, even though this band, yes, they've been making music since 2017, but they've only really found their style in the latter years. Like, because I think, just from what I've been reading, like, Jaded and Cellar Door from the singles 2 years ago, like, those were the ones that really, like, made them explode. So, like, that's impressive that it's just the past few years alone they've really found their element and they're fucking nailing it.
Yeah. Shit. You love to see that kind of thing. That, like, just figuring out your sound and sticking with it. Good stuff. I'm all about it. All right. So track number 4 is called Keep Sweet. I don't know what that means, but it's all right. We're going to figure it out. So we're going to play track number 4 in 3, 2, 1, go. Damn.
Fun.
Oh.
Oof.
Damn.
Oh. Oh.
Damn.
Why are all their choruses so awesome? Damn. Whoa.
Oh. Damn. Oh. Man. Sheesh.
Whew. Damn. How the fuck are like all their choruses so distinct and so fucking good? Like, I always want to sing along to the choruses, no matter what. Even if it's like a less favorable song. Whew, that was cool.
Damn. Yeah, I think it's really impressive that, like, in terms of the, when it comes to the mixing, like, it kind of feels like the vocals almost fade into the background, but it's completely by design. Like, and at the same time, while they are in the background, it also feels like I can hear them so clearly. I'm completely baffled by it. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Like, they completely blend into the context of the song without, like, you know, standing, like, kind of hovering over top of the rest of the mix like most vocals usually do, just so that you can hear them clearly. But in these, it's like they completely blend into the song as a whole, and I'm like, at the same time, it feels completely intentional, and I can kind of just hear them so clearly. It's really impressive. But yeah, that was a cool track too. Damn.
Nothing but fucking hit so far. It's all been impressive, distinct sounding stuff. Like, I almost feel like there are times where, like, the lyric, like, the way she sings almost leans into another genre, but then, like, she falls back to comfortably doing her thing in the chorus, which I am entirely not against. But, like, there's always glimpses of, like, we could lean into something else, but where we are gonna fucking stick at nailing metalcore. And honestly, I love it. Dude, I love her voice. It's so good.
Yeah, she has a great voice. I do wish, like, I could hear more of the lyrics so that I could, because I feel like I could probably be a little more critical about the lyrics themselves, but I can't really hear them that well. So
yeah, like, I think they're designed in a way that you have to kind of listen to them multiple times to really understand the lyrics. And I have heard, like, different words, like, that they go through a fucking thesaurus, I swear. Like, I've heard different words like cascade and talisman and, like, a bunch of words you wouldn't really usually use in your everyday language. And, like, they like to use those, not, like, inappropriately, but they're actually used in a fairly effective manner. Yes. But you're right, there are times where you can't distinguish the lyrics from the sound, like from the instrumental. Yes.
Which I think partially is by design, because, like, that's part of the experience, like, kind of having the vocals that really blend in with the music. It is cool. But I do, like, I feel bad, because, like, you know, again, we mentioned the Caleb Hyles album. I was pretty critical of the lyrics in that one, and I feel like I could be more so on this, but I don't even know what the lyrics are.
Yeah, so, I almost feel like for the singles, at least, I need to have that lyric thing that Spotify has on so I can read what the fuck's happening. Exactly. I'm just imagining, like, you said Mecca and his boyfriend are gonna go see this. Like, go see Spiritbox. I'm trying to imagine seeing them live and how difficult it would be for her to go from, like, performing one of these songs, to go from screaming her lungs out and then jumping, like, with 2 seconds to spare, like, not even that, to softly spoken quick lyrics that they like to do. Like, going from screaming to soft speaking in, like, a second flat. How difficult would that be? Like, that, I don't know, but impressive here.
No, I think it sounds impressive. When you've got it down, it's probably not that hard. Because actually, like, a lot of times, it's a similar register. Like, if you know how to scream properly, which clearly she does, without, like, actually damaging her voice and her vocal cords, it's a similar sort of, like, it comes from a similar place. It's just knowing how to apply the right amount of pressure and the right amount of like vocal fry to it. So I think it's probably not too bad for her. Especially since she's probably done it a gazillion times. So
yeah, that makes sense. Alrighty, I'm keen.
Okay, so
for some soft spine, gooey, soft spine.
The track number 5 is another single. I imagine the first single of this album called "Soft Spine," and we're gonna play it in 3, 2, 1, go. It's got a thingy, a little video.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Thanks.
God.
Oh. This is awesome.
Oh. Damn.
You understand what I mean, though, when I say the screaming is somehow easier to pick up the lyrics? That's not common.
Part of the way, I think, is part of it's how they mix it. Whew. Damn.
Wow. Holy shit.
Whew.
What a fucking experience was that?
Jesus.
That was like... that somehow that 3 minutes, like... I was just kind of like mesmerized the whole time, like, holy fuck. Like, what just happened there? Banger. I love the instrumental for that one. It just sounded like so fucking intense. Like, and it repeated it was enough of a unique sound. Like, it repeated enough to the point where it's like, that is so much more distinct from like anything else they've made. Like, not much more, but like, it stands out again as something
right.
You know is special, but you also know is from this album. It's had that fucking vibe, that sound to it. It was hard to describe for me. Fuck.
No, I do think I sort of get the what you mean by that. It's like it definitely has like this aggression to it that's like, you know, even like a lot of the previous sort of screaming focused songs that Spiritbox has done, they almost haven't felt quite that aggressive. Like, whether that's in terms of instrumental or even in terms of the vocals, like both instrumental and vocals felt more aggressive than I think I'm used to with Spiritbox, which is cool. It's like a cool new twist on what they do, and it still very much feels like a Spiritbox track. So I dig it. Like, it won't be. It's definitely not something I would come back to like the 2 tracks before it, but at the same time, like, it's pretty damn cool. Like, I like what they managed to do with putting together all these elements of like their this like aggressive style they went for here, and then the vocalists like really powerful screaming. It just works, I think. So yeah, just really really cool stuff, I think. And lyric, like, you know, I mentioned like the way they mix the screams, like they clearly put a lot of reverb on most, if not all, of the singing vocals in Spiritbox songs, which kind of muds them up a bit and makes them a little harder to understand like when it comes to the lyrics. But for screaming, they don't do that, because you can't muddy up screaming, because not that you can't, but you can't afford to as a mixer, because screaming itself is already really muddy. So like if you do more to it like that, you're just going to completely cover it up and like absolutely destroy it into the mix to the point where you can't understand it. So a lot of screaming in Spiritbox songs, they don't reverb the crap out of it, for one, but they also really like compress the shit out of it. They like nail it with a fucking probably a really hard compressor, and just absolutely send it to the moon, and, you know, kind of pull out a little bit of the low end, or a lot of the low end, so that it comes forward into the mix and you can understand it even more. And I think the vocalist is so good at screaming to the point where all of that, those like mixing things combined with her great screaming, it makes it easier to understand than like the super reverbed singing vocals, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool. I like it. So
yeah, no, like, I surprisingly, I think that is one I'm going to come back to, because I was fucking jamming the whole time. That was sick. No misses. Like, honestly, like, Fata Morgana was probably the one so far I'm like, meh. It was good. No, get me wrong, it was fucking good. Yes. But like, compared to the rest of these, I'm like, I'm leaning more this side of the album so far. But yeah, still got the other half to go.
Yeah, we got more than half left. So track number 6 is the title track, called Tsunami Sea, and we're gonna play it in 3, 2, 1, go.
Barely had a second to register with the water sounds.
Yeah. Oh. it is a lot of reverb. Whoops.
It's really pretty for a metalcore song. Nice.
Yeah. That was great.
That was awesome. So that's what I mean. That was the more melancholic, like relaxing vocals. And again, that was another transition. God damn it, well done. Yeah, no, fucking lovely title track. And like for a metalcore song, that was really pretty. I really enjoyed that. That just and again, it was that situation where I heard half the lyrics, not the other half.
Yep.
But what I did hear about laying on the shores and the ocean and all that, like, sounded very pretty. I just, again, that's kind of the only negative aspect is I wish sometimes I could hear the lyrics more, because most of them are really well written. Actually, I think that they're great all around. Like every part of the band knows what to do, and Courtney, I believe, writes all the lyrics as well. And she's great at that. I just want to fucking hear them more.
Yeah, no, that is sort of like those lead vocals really get reverbed like to crazy town and back. Yeah, but that was like, they just have this, like, it's such an interesting dichotomy where it's like they have these kind of, I mean, not even kind of, but these heavy instrumentation that like backs these gorgeous soft vocals and like really like light and almost like hypnotizing, like soft vocals. Like it's really cool. I really like that. Like that aspect of Spiritbox specifically is like what I was drawn in by. Just it's really, really cool. And I mean, not to say that their screaming stuff isn't great as well, but like just something about that formula where they have these like really elegant soft vocals backed up by this hard hitting metalcore track. It speaks to my soul, even if I can't hear the lyrics. So I really like it. So good stuff.
I'm of the same opinion. There's just something special about it, and I'm glad that even though that I guess in reality they are still fairly new. I guess like however many years they've been creating and establishing their style, but fuck, this style is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
and all the props to Courtney, because like as far as I'm aware, as far as I've read, not only does she like deal with the lyrics, the main lyrics, the leading lyrics, she writes all of them as well, and like that is very impressive on her part.
Good stuff. All right. So next up is track number 7, which is the longest on the album. It's called A Haven with Two Faces. And we're going to play it in 3, 2, 1, go. If there's one band I'm not opposed to going for 5.5 minutes, it's these people.
Mm-hmm. Especially because, like, they're not even that repetitive as well, which is amazing.
No. That's metalcore for you.
Hmm.
Oh.
Whoa, that was a weird pause. Grabbed my attention, though.
Still can't hear the lyrics, but it's all right.
I'm really trying to focus. Hear them. It's because, like, not only is it reverb to fuck, it's harmonizing with a second layer, and it's just too much. And now we get a little bit chill.
Nice. I like
Nice.
that. Huh.
Yeah, look, I'm trying to hear the lyrics and I just can't.
Yeah.
I'm trying so hard. Are we going to get another transition? We may.
Man. You know what, I was thinking about it. I'm like, even though I can't hear the lyrics, I'm like, shit. I really do feel like I'm, on vibes alone. I feel like I am like in the middle of a tsunami right now. Like somehow I feel it.
Absolutely. I
maybe I'm being
right
brainwashed by maybe I'm being brainwashed by the system. That's what they're trying to make me think. But still, it worked. So fuck it.
It's like I'm drifting. I'm drifting on the water, and it's just happening. Like, all this is happening right now in my ears, and I can't escape it. But I'm not complaining. It's really, really nice.
Yeah.
Fuck, I want to know what she's saying. This has to be intentional. It has to be intentional, like for repeat listening, so you actually fucking get it. Because I didn't understand the lyrics to like my favorite Spiritbox songs until I heard them like 5 times over. Like, I always feel like it's on purpose, but it is just of vibes because it blends so magnificently with the instrumental. Like, if you didn't understand English, the sounds alone would just be amazing. But then you do understand English, you hear it a few times and finally catch the words, and you're like, oh, there's a second layer here. Like, it's...
Right.
It's well crafted, but fuck, it does get slightly agitating when I'm like, I just want to know what they're saying. Please help me.
Yeah, I do think that's at least worth some amount of criticism that, like, hey, I cannot for the life of me understand what's being said here. But yeah, I mean, they nail exactly what they're going for, I think. So, and that's, because I mean, you can always look up, just Google the lyrics, right? If you may never understand them, no matter how many times you listen to it. Like, you might think you know them, and then you'll look them up and be like, oh, fuck, I had it totally wrong. So you can always look it up, and then you'll read the lyrics, and you'll hear them and be like, oh, of course it says that. But I think it is worth some amount of criticism for that. But at the same time, it does, on some level, feel completely intentional. It's absolutely set up that way. So if it is intentionally that, then I can't even knock it that much because I'm skating by on vibes alone. So, I mean, fuck. But yeah, that one had fucking 5.5 minutes of just straight vibes. So good. I mean, I can't even lie. I like it. So.
See, I didn't realize I said in there, I love how it doesn't repeat a lot. Like, you might get 2 choruses and like it's all distinct, it's all awesome. And you said is that typical of metalcore?
Oh god, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. All right, good. Like I said, I'm only starting to get more into metalcore as of late. So I actually really appreciate that because, again, I hate to knock on the guy. Again, you were right with the Caleb Hyles album, The Darkness Before the Dawn. There was a lot of repeat choruses, and that is pretty typical of rock. I know, like, you have you have the opening, you have the chorus, you have the fucking middle bit, you have the pre-chorus, you got the chorus again, you got a break, and then you got the last chorus, end of the song. So like you hear a lot of the same shit constantly, and there are times where it works, there are times where it's annoying, and you're like, all right, there's a minute left of the song, and I know what I'm gonna get. But I love how distinct it is. Like I reckon even amongst like I need to listen to more metalcore to be sure, but I swear even amongst metalcore, Spiritbox has something a bit more distinct. It has to.
I mean, they definitely have a sound that's distinct.
If there's just more of this hanging out, then like, what the fuck have I been doing? I need to find them. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think Spiritbox has a very distinct sound about them. That's definitely for sure. There are no... I can't think of any metalcore bands that sound like Spiritbox. But as far as, like, not repeating, like, so much metalcore is technical and intricate and makes changes upon itself as the song progresses. Like, yeah, that's totally characteristic of metalcore. But as far as actually sounding like this, like, with this, like, haunting sort of very almost distant, like, just ringing in your head sort of thing, like almost creepy vibes to it. I can't think of another metalcore band that nails it quite like this. They just have the sound. They really just have the sound. It's amazing. So yeah, we're gonna move on. Track number 8, another single called "No Loss, No Love," and we're gonna play it in 3, 2, 1, go. There's a thing for this. A canvas is what it's called. I remembered what it's called. It's called a canvas. Damn.
Door. Oh, Jesus. That's weird.
Record scratch. Yep, that's me. You probably
Fuck.
wonder how I ended up in this situation.
That was so strange. Oh, gee. Oh, okay. All right. We're back to the start. Oh! Oh! It's like a bird got reverbed. Ugh.
She's reciting Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh.
That's not true. I made that up.
I thought you were serious.
No. She's on open mic night.
Jesus.
Jesus.
What the fuck was any of that?
Damn.
Well,
that was another one that really cranked up the aggression. I don't think it quite had the same sort of. It didn't quite hit the nail on the head like the Soft Spine did.
No,
but it was still cool. I think
it was still cool. It was still distinct. Like those fucking noises at the end literally sound like they got birds screeching and just fucking reverbed them. Like that was fucked. That was a bit much for me. I'm like, that's a bit too much for me. I reckon. I'm happy with Soft Spine being the level of heavy that I'm comfortable with. That was kind of like you play that in a car with someone that doesn't really get metalcore, and they're just gonna look at you like, "Dude, are you okay? Like, is something going on?" I'm just gonna be like,
right.
No. Like, I think that was a bit much for me. Still cool, not my thing.
Yeah, no, I would sooner come back to Soft Spine for sure. Definitely, it feels like it falls into the same category. But yeah, I do think like the guitar work on that was surprising, to say the least. Very like, I mean, I can't think of another song that uses. I almost felt like that was I think what they did was like multiple, like a chord of pinch harmonics, but then use a whammy bar or like a. I forget. I don't know the technical name for the bridge, but like when you kind of adjust the bridge so that it tunes up the tuning. I forget what it's called exactly, but it kind of felt like that's what they were doing there with like that. That sounded like a. But impressive. I like the creativity, so fair enough. All right, moving on though.
I need to ask something. This might be a question for after, but there's been so many occasions during these album reviews where you've like complimented the guitar playing or complimented something unique about the instrumentation, and like you said, it's either been surprising or impressive. Have any of the album reviews we've done actually like given you inspiration to try something different with your music?
Maybe. I don't think necessarily like individually, because a lot of it, you know, it's like sort of, it very much depends on the style, because a lot of like, I'm pretty comfortable with where I'm at. Like I would not by any stretch call myself a good guitar player. I'm mediocre, I think. And like I got to a point where I can do what I'm comfortable with, and what I'm comfortable with is like a lot of what I like to hear in, and like what I want to make in the kind of music that I want to make, I guess. Or like when I'm doing covers, like it'll be like I can play good enough to the point where I can recreate what is required of me. But like when it's some stuff like this, and it's like these, because I'm not a guitar player by nature. I'm more of a piano player by nature. Because like I think in terms of the piano. When I write music, I think in terms of the piano, not in terms of the guitar. So it's a lot of these like very creative guitar work stuff is like, it's very surprising to me. I'm like, I would never have thought to do stuff like that. So I don't think it's necessarily like direct inspiration to me, because a lot of like what I want to use in my music, I can already do, and like I would think of, you know, some of this like some more surprising guitar work. I'm like, whoa, holy shit. Let's put the brakes on for a second. But I like it. I like the creativity, because like there are, you know, especially when it comes to metalcore metalcore bands, metalcore guitarists just have like more often than not, they're just like these natural guitar players who like grew up playing guitar or practiced for fucking years, and like just have this innate ability to like come up with things, and like, you know, inventing, sort of, maybe not inventing, but, you know, making these like new sounds, or like coming up with these weird ass things that, you know, a typical guitar player may never think of. It's just like second nature to them. It's really interesting, I think. So when it comes to stuff like this, it just is sort of like, I don't know, I find it fascinating. Because it's a more often than not, I'm like, I would never think, I would never do any of that. But it's cool nonetheless. Okay. We'll keep going. All right. So track number 9 is, I guess, must be a recent single. It's called Crystal Roses. And we're going to play it in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, this could be good.
Well, you can just tell.
Man, I feel like I can't hear the lyrics more than normal.
No, it's just a haze of noise.
Yeah.
The echo slows and my self-control decides. Okay. I got most of that. Oh. I still can't hear this guy either. What the fuck?
Huh.
That's interesting.
Man, I could not hear shit.
No, that one, like, it went the polar opposite of No Loss, No Love, where it wasn't intense. It was but it was still, it was fast paced, and it sounded cool. But I didn't notice that 3 minutes passed. It felt like we were building to something and we never got there. Just
yeah.
Wow,
you're right.
That was weird.
That was kind of bizarre.
Huh. That's probably, honestly, that, No Loss, No Love, they're practically the only ones I'm, not too keen on. The rest are, fucking awesome. But, I don't know, the past 2 songs have just been, off the deep end in a weird way. So I'm okay, cool.
Yeah. No, I agree. That was kind of I did sort of expect that to hit a high point that it never reached. So I don't know. That didn't really, and even more than the previous tracks, I felt like I couldn't hear the lyrics even more than those previous tracks. Like they were muddied into the mix even more than they have been.
How do they do it?
Yeah, right.
How do they do it?
Just add like 3 stacks of reverb plugins on top of each other.
Maybe there comes a point in time where you just need to go, maybe ease up a little bit on the reverb. And I love reverb. Like, I think I've sung praises about reverb used in certain songs. Like, I love it because it's cool. But sometimes Spiritbox take it a bit too far. And like, I'm at the point now, I'm like, okay, let's crank it down a bit, please.
Yeah, it is becoming a little bit much. But, all right. Moving on, track number 10 is called Ride the Wave. And we're going to play it in 3, 2, 1, go.
I can hear what she's saying.
Oh.
Like a message in a bottle. Is it weird that I'm like grooving to this? It's like a groovy sound. This. Head bopper.
Whoa.
I can actually hear the lyrics. This is amazing.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I want to. You know what I'm thinking.
Oh.
She's fucking predicting us.
Oh. Wait. Oh, shit.
There it is. Oh. Now she's gone completely the other direction. I can't hear shit now. That was so on purpose. Holy fuck.
Huh. I could actually understand the lyrics that time.
Like, I swear, that was the most intentional fucking shit. The past 9 songs we've been like, sometimes we can't hear the lyrics. So then they make a song where, like, the first 2 minutes, all the lyrics are very clear, they're very distinct. You can hear everything. And then she starts screaming in a manner in which you can't fucking hear or understand a single syllable. Like, it was the most intentional fucking shit I've ever heard. Really cool. I loved the vibe to that. I was grooving.
Yeah.
Like, bobbing my head, which is not what I expect from metalcore. They finally leaned into a different genre, and I was in it. I loved it. That was cool.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good track. Definitely one of the stronger ones, I think. Partly because I actually could hear the lyrics, but there was also a good mix. I like the transition from the clean vocals into the screaming, the bridge that had the screaming in it. Really cool stuff. Just kind of dynamic. Really had its ups and downs. Good stuff. Really solid track, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So let's finish it off. Track number 11, the last one, is called
I'm sad it has to end. Yeah, I'm sad it has to end, but here we are. Yes, sorry for interrupting. Yes. Deep End. Ugh.
Yeah, track number 11 is called Deep End. And we're going to play it in 3, 2, 1, go.
Back to the Haunt. Oh, God. They love that. These 5 seconds of vibes, and then boom. Stab you. I heard all that as well. Nice. This is the culmination. And the dude's back.
Oof.
That was interesting.
Oh. Dude, I'm back in. I'm drifting across the ocean right now.
Here we are. So this is the harmonization, and I can understand it at the same time. That was good.
This is a great track.
Fuck yeah. And I'm drowned. I am deceased.
Yeah, I'm big dead.
Fuck, that was awesome.
That was a great last track.
Like, I thought they were going to go for the route of, like, taking bits from the rest of the album when they opened it up with, like, talking about the tsunami, and I'm like, yeah, okay. But then, like, they didn't really lean towards that. They did something else, and, like, they, again, that vibe of just being out in the ocean, like, I don't know how they do it. Like, apart from throwing in the random, it's not really random, from throwing in the sounds of the ocean, like, in those little interval bits. Like, other than that, like, even without that, I still get the vibe. I still completely get what you're saying. It feels like you're just out at sea. And it just works. Like, that was really, really good.
That's really good. Great stuff. That might be one of my that might be one of my favorites. Yeah, great. Just has such. I love the outro with the acoustic guitars. Great, like, clean vocals throughout. Again, great, like, just a solid backing track and instrumentation behind it. Just it didn't do anything particularly, like, unusual. It was just a really solid, nice, clean vocal focused track. I was a big fan of that one. That might be one of my favorites. Yeah. Overall, though,
it's one of the few times they decide to, like, not go too wacky with it and decide to just focus on a theme and make it work perfectly. And dude, that was so good. I'm almost in agreement. Like, I want to I want to listen to it again, and that's doesn't happen often for me. Like, where I'm just sitting there like, fuck, I need to hear that song again. Like, wow, fuck,
yeah, what
an album! What a fucking banger album! Holy shit!
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What? I think I can guess your favorites, but what do you reckon? What are you thinking?
I'd say top 3. I think Deep End's definitely up there for sure. Tsunami Sea, and I can't decide between 3 or 4. Perfect Soul or Keep Sweet. Both of those were good. I do like Ride the Wave as well, but definitely Deep End and Tsunami Sea are up there for me. I quite like. I think I'm leaning towards Perfect Soul as my number 3. But yeah, good. Just really, really good stuff. Like, I think overall, like, I do think the imagery of, you know, being out in the ocean, it definitely helps that they had, like, the canvases, which are like the moving, the little videos on Spotify that go along with it. So they have they're sending you the visual imagery as well to instill it in your noggin, which helps, you know, the visualization aspect of that. But yeah, like, you know, even without that, you can still sort of feel it. Like, they really nailed the vibe, I think, of just, it feels lonely. So, like, a lot of it feels lonely. Like, a lot of it's aggressive. A lot of it feels, like, almost pleading in a way. Like, it does, a lot of it feels lonely. Like you are stranded out at sea with, like, nothing surrounding you for God knows how long, and you're just completely hopeless, and it's dark, and it's empty, and it's scary. Like, it nails a lot of that feeling, I think. So just really, really great stuff. It just, again, like, there's so much personality here. Like, you could come in here not knowing who Spiritbox were, and you're like, you come out of this and you're like, oh my god, I get it. This is who Spiritbox are. This is the kind of music they make. And you could even transition to another album like Eternal Blue and be like, oh, this still feels like Spiritbox, but it's a little bit of a different vibe. Like, Eternal Blue feels a lot less, again, lonely. It feels a lot less lonely compared to this one. Like, maybe Eternal Blue feels a little more like, I guess, almost mystical in comparison to this one, whereas this one feels more like dreadful, like aggressive, lonely, sad, pleading. Like, it just really nails it, I think. Again, I think tracks 8 and 9, No Loss, No Love, and Crystal Roses are probably the weakest of the bunch, but overall, like, even those, they, like, I think they contribute to the vibe, at least in some capacity. So, and again, they are Spiritbox songs. They feel like they are Spiritbox songs. So I really can't knock it. Like, I think this, it very clearly, like, again, I hate to keep going back to it, but Caleb Hyles, I remember I criticized that album for not feeling like it had a vision behind it, not feeling like it had something it was going for, whereas this very clearly had a vision. They were clearly going for the feeling of being stranded in the dark, in the middle of the dark ocean, like feeling lonely and desperate. Like, that is what I got from this album, and they went for it, and it really worked, and I felt that. So, like, it just works. Like, I thought it was really, really good. Like, there, you know, especially in comparison to Eternal Blue or even stuff off of the Fear of Fear, I'm not sure how much I would go back to these in comparison to those. But at the same time, if I give them a little more time, I feel like I'll warm up to them just like I did some of Spiritbox's earlier songs that I really like now, like The Void and The Summit and all that. If I listen to them a little bit more, I will. Like, some of these songs off of this album will become some of my favorites. So, like, yeah, I just think it really, really works. Like, it might take some growing accustomed to, like, getting used to, almost like warming up to it, because, like, off rip, like, just listening to it once, it is dark, it's lonely, it's sad, like, it's aggressive, and it will take some warming up to, I think, as far as, like, stuff that I would come back to regularly. But at the same time, that's what it was going for. It just really nails it. So, absolutely fair play. Fantastic work.
Yes.
Really good stuff.
I think you were absolutely right with that comparison, whereas, like, I think I even said this in the Caleb Hyles album review, and again, like, we're only bringing this up so much because of how recent it was.
Yes.
Like, that felt like he got, like, a bunch of artists to just feature in these singles, and they threw those singles together as an album. And then he had, like, 2 or 3 songs about being Christian. And it was like, that's what that felt like. It didn't feel like a story. And not every album needs to be a story. A lot of bands don't really focus on that nowadays, where it feels like Spiritbox did. And I love them all for it. It feels like, you're right, it feels like this album was like the 5 stages of grief of being stranded out at sea. And you're going through the motions, and you're going through all these different emotions while stranded, while alone, and, like, sometimes you hear that other voice that just happens to be the backing vocalist, like, as you're going fucking crazy slightly. And then, like, at the end, you're like, yep, I'm all right, I'm accepting this. And that's why I felt like Deep End was a lot more of a streamlined song without any wacky elements, but it still felt complete. And, like, honestly, this felt like a story. and it was really, really good. And you're right, the inclusion of No Loss, No Love in Crystal Roses worked, despite being the weaker of the songs on the album. It still fit. Like, that's why I'm glad I listened to it in this order and ignored all the singles when they came out, because, like, this just added something new to it. And I think that this is a lot more of a complete album, even compared to Eternal Blue. I might have my view a bit skewed because I heard some of those songs before I heard Eternal Blue, but like I love a lot of those songs in there, like as we said at the start of this. But like I don't know, this felt complete. Like I don't think any song was out of place. I don't think anything was like too off the wall. Everything felt like Spiritbox. And I enjoyed this immensely. Like, there was a period of time in 2018, I remember, where, like, 3 or 4 of my favorite bands all dropped banger albums in, like, the same 3-month span. And all the songs just felt complete, felt amazing. And I thought, like, fuck, I love this. And this is one of those albums that just feels complete, where every song has a place and every song slaps in a different way. And I love albums like that, where just every song resonates with you. And like even the ones you're not a big fan of, you still get it. So fuck yeah, well done, Spiritbox. For my favorites, I'm also leaning towards Deep End. Soft Spine, I don't know why that one, just because I think it was a good mix of the heavy and the like other elements as well. Like it was heavier. That's what like Rotoscope, like when the first Spiritbox song I heard, it was heavy, but it started off with the more gentle, softer lyrics. But like the sound was grungy and heavy and really cool. I think Soft Spine kind of brought me back a little bit to that, where it's like it sounded fucking intense, and it had its screaming, but there was moments where it had softer vocals, and it just reminded me of that, and I really, really vibed with it. So I think Deep End, Soft Spine, and if I had to choose a third, like I do really like A Haven with Two Faces. Because I just like how spaced out it was. I was enjoying it the whole time. I didn't mind it. But I also can appreciate Ride the Wave because of how different that was to me. Not taking anything away from like Perfect Soul, Keep Sweet, Tsunami Sea, and even like Black Rainbow. I think Black Rainbow and Fata Morgana, they're both really good, but they sort of are like second place to the rest of these fucking first place songs. Like they can get the silver medals. All these other fucking ones that they're all getting gold medals. I don't know how, but they are.
Right.
Fuck, that was awesome. I'm so glad we did this. This was great. Fuck yeah, Spiritbox. Keep doing it. Like this is intense. This is awesome. Every EP even has had a different sort of vibe. So like every album, every EP they've done has just been slightly different. It's still Spiritbox, but it's still that metalcore vibe. But they've been able to make everything distinct. So they're doing a fucking wonderful job. Like I almost kind of want to compare it to a Breaking Benjamin, where like every album is just a bit different, but you can tell it's Breaking Benjamin. I almost want to say that for a metalcore sense for Spiritbox.
Yeah. I get it.
Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah. Love Courtney's voice.
Yeah.
I just can't stop saying that. I just fucking amazing. Well done.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm in agreement. Great job. So yeah. That's all from us for today. If you for some reason want us to review an album, I don't know why you would, but if you do, leave it in the comments down below. We'll have a look at it and probably ignore it.
We did used to get like an occasional fucking comment like, "Oh, you should review this," and we're like, "That shit's like 10 years old." What? I mean, we could, but like,
if you have any upcoming albums,
yes. See, okay, I'd like to preface that's actually a good idea. If there's any albums from a band you like that are upcoming, let us know, and we will check them out when it releases, because that actually sounds like a good idea.
Yes, let us know. We got a few ideas in the pipeline as far as album reviews go. But yeah, if you have any ideas, feel free to leave them in the comments. Otherwise, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more. And
let us know what your favorite songs were from this album in the comments section down below.
Yeah, that too. Let us know your favorites, and we'll see you all next time, whenever that is.
All right. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.
Bye.